Hi, my babies. Hi, my babies. Hi, and welcome back to another spiritual message. Today's spiritual message is don't sell your soul. So, as y'all know, I am addicted to the Trader Show. I just finished watching season 3 of Traders UK, and it was really, really good. I was actually shocked. It was really good. And I've been sitting on this spiritual message since probably the first season of me watching the Trader Show. And it's about faithfuls versus traders. A faithful is someone who is pure-hearted. They play the game fair. There's someone who trusts that everyone has good intentions like they do. Okay? Now, y'all know we're going to flip it a little bit. We're going to say a faithful is the righteous, the chosen, the one called by God. The one that clearly has talents and gifts that only God could have put in them. The one who has a talent with words, or maybe doing hair, or just uplifting people's spirits. I told you, being a light worker, being a worker for God, it could be different occupations. You could be the garbage man, baby, okay? And you could just light up people's day when they see you coming. You have a good word for them, and you going about your day. A faithful is the righteous, the one that works with the divine, basically. Now, a trader, okay, a trader is someone that is sneaky, manipulative. They act like they're faithful, but they're really not. And the whole point of the game of traders is, long as it's only faithfuls by the end of the game, then they win the money. But if there is at least one trader at the end of the game, then the trader takes all the money and the faithfuls get none of it. So I was watching a vlog with my babysitter that I had posted yesterday, and I had forgot about that conversation we had because we had it back in October. And I was watching, I was like, oh, this was good. And just randomly out of nowhere, she said the devil does what? She said the devil does 3 things. And she said destroy. She said I can't remember the other 2. And I remember one was destroy, kill, and I couldn't think of steal. I said rob. But that's exactly what the traders do at the end of the game. They steal the profit from the faithfuls at the end of the game. They destroy people's trust. They destroy other people's characters in order for them to stay alive in the game. No one knows who the traders are. And at night, the traders murder at least one faithful every night. And then they also go to the banishing table, which is... banishing is something that's spiritual, meaning basically to get rid of negativity. So the hope is that they can figure out who one of the traders is and banish them out of the house before they murder another faithful. And like I said, by the end of the game, you don't want any traders there, or the traders get to steal. So basically, the traders represent a low vibrational person. Someone who works for Satan, the devil, Satan, whatever you like to call it, okay? The enemy, darkness, okay? Like they said in a Thriller, darkness falls across the land, okay? They keep bringing that up. Darkness falls across the land. The shadow we play, ooh, shit now. The shadow we place in Lion King, are y'all catching it? This is a spiritual war, baby, for the battle is not yours. This is a warfare right now, a spiritual warfare of dark versus light is what they're saying. And that's exactly what the traders game is about, the faithful versus the traders. The traders will do anything to stay in the game, and they murder people, and they smile in their face the next day at breakfast, and they act like they are faithful, knowing that they just committed a murder, knowing that they're destroying, lying, stealing, killing. Like, whoo, good gracious, bodacious, baby. They saying keep them antennas up, y'all. Keep them antennas up. So like I said, traders can't act like they're faithfuls, and they do a lot of lying. And I also been noticing the last couple of months, they keep bringing up snakes. Like, they've been mentioning, like, snakes a lot. And one of the twists of the game of traders is faithfuls can be recruited by the traders. And sometimes they have a choice and sometimes they don't have a choice. And when they don't have a choice, if they choose not to be recruited by the traitors, they have to be murdered immediately. So a faithful being recruited by a traitor is like a faithful getting infected by others' energies. Someone who was walking righteously getting infected by other people getting in their ear or trying to make, trying to make it seem like, oh, that person over there, they're a bad person, or this, that, and the third. They're not a faithful. They're actually a traitor. That's what traitors do. They get in the faithful ear and then they got faithfuls thinking that other faithfuls are traitors, and they're not. It's really the person in their ear that's the traitor. So y'all know they gave me a scripture. Now just so happened I done read the scripture twice this month already. Okay, y'all know God liked the number 3. Okay, this is my 3rd time reading the scripture, and the crazy thing is the chapter is a 3. Is that's not a 3/4 chord. Good God. Okay. A 3/4 chord will not be quickly broken. And it says the hidden counsels of God on suffering. Good God. Here we go. The souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and no torment shall touch them. They seemed in the view of the foolish to be dead, and their passing away was thought an affliction, and their going forth from us utter destruction. Didn't we say destroy? But they are in peace. And that is the thing, baby. Regardless of the storm that's coming up against you, like my big brother Tupac say, through the hurt and the pain, you still got to find humor. You still got to find a reason to smile and to laugh. For to others indeed they seemed punished, yet is their hope full of immorality. Chastised a little, they shall be greatly blessed, because God tried them. Not man, God tried them and found them worthy of himself. As gold in the furnace, he proved them, and as sacrificial offerings, he took them to himself. Meaning God said that one is a faithful, that one is pure, that one lasted through the furnace, that one could take the pressure, that one could take the heat, that one could take the lashings, that one could take the crown of thorns, that one could take being crucified, that one could take being hung, that one could take being slashed in the side. Okay? God said that one is strong enough to walk with me. That is a faithful through and through. Okay, ain't no plated gold gonna last in no furnace. That is a faithful 24K through and through. In their time of judgment, they shall shine and dart about as sparks through stubble. They shall judge nations and rule over peoples, and the Lord shall be their king forever. No man is going to rule over them. God is who rules over them. God got the last say. Those who trust in him shall understand truth. Because that's all God rock with is truth. And the faithful shall abide with him in love. What I say, one thing I admire about Marley is, even though she been hurt by so many people, that girl love like she ain't never been hurt. She run up to you, could just go take the trash out, come back in the house. Marley gonna run up to you like you been gone half the day, make you feel so loved and so important, and she does it to everybody because she has a heart of gold. A heart that has been tested, that has been through the furnace, but is still full of pure love. That is God. Okay. And it also says, because grace and mercy are with his holy ones, and his care is with the elect. But the wicked shall receive a punishment to match their thoughts. Meaning you will be judged just by thinking negative, just by thinking evil against someone. You ain't even got to say it out your mouth. You're going to be judged by your heart posture. You could put on a mask, you put on fake smiles, you could say this and high vibration that, and quote scriptures and quote the Quran and the Torah and this, that, and the third. But God know your heart and God know your thoughts. But the wicked shall receive a punishment to match their thoughts, since they neglected righteousness and forsook the Lord. The scripture mentions that you will be tested. You will go through the furnace. It didn't mention anything about perfection. But it mentioned about basically having the right intentions. It mentioned that even when destruction comes your way, still stand in peace. Because just like I read earlier, it says the hidden counsels of God on suffering. Even through your suffering, even through your trials, even through the unexpected. They're saying, baby, hold on to your peace. Hold on to your hope. Hold on to your faith. Because just because it go down in the ground, it does not mean it's dead. It might just be a seed. And remember, this is why being authentic is the best. Because God likes 24K, not gold plated. I said, think about it. Are you a faithful or are you a traitor? Are they a faithful or are they a traitor? Love you, babies. Keep them antennas up. Mwah.